This is not a world of simply black and white. There's always something in the blend of the old and the new, east and west, ancient and modern. A 100 years ago, prosperity of Taiki Lui and Chunchi Road were nowhere to be seen, but here was already a king of kings. The fried egg noodles, old post office, Yu Lai Tea House, and the Panzu Shi, the glory of the city at the beginning of the last century, was witnessed here by generations of locals and visitors. Its name is Huaxing Street. I'm Kampanisa, observing urban renewal in China. And what will I find today?
中英文对照，这个是中文，这个是英文，这儿是不走路。
哎，你英文进步啊！
我干到的是，我晓得啥子哦。
These are quite rare to find postcards now. I remember back in the day when we used to go travelling, we would go to the local post office to collect stamps, and then you collect the local postcards and you post these back home to your families. So as you travel through the cities and countries along the journey, they would also show a purpose of where you've been and of that period of culture. 这个两个可以。
你长得很帅。
不是。这个后面的建筑是什么？
这个是1930几年修的中国邮政成都市邮政大楼。这儿写的有，这个是外国人给我们一起修的。
We find ourselves at Chengdu's historic quarter. Now let's start the day at one of the best preserved Western and Chinese architects designed buildings in Chengdu. We start at the post office building, which was founded in 1901, and it was built in 1935 to 1937 by Canadian and Chinese architects. This is one of the best preserved buildings that's still in use to today's use. Now it's been preserved at a postal banking service. So this relates to the financial street and the financial quarter of Chengdu. This is how the co-created and co-developed projects are being repurposed for today's modern use as part of urban renewal. So very lucky to find this unique collection of Chengdu Makes Dreams Come True. This is the representation of the University Games going to be happening in Chengdu next year. So I'm sending this postcard to my parents. Let them know we're missing them all. We haven't seen them for a while, and we're going to welcome them to the games. That'll be happening in August 2022. Sending this postcard with love from Chengdu. 你买什么东西？
我买鸭子和排骨。
排骨哦，排骨。
这是成都老字号的一个很好吃的卤菜。
我们有一个
来这里，
我们有辣的，这个
要吃辣的呀？
辣的。
我们这儿没有辣的，今天
90多年了。
90哦，在这个位置，
马上就要100年老店了。
你住在这里？这个位置
还有点远，专门过来买的。我住在温江的。
温江的，哇，你过来在这里今天就买那个
就买卤菜回去。
很厉害。Wow, people traveling from the west of Chengdu just to catch this on a Sunday morning. It's quite unique. 谢谢啊，拜拜。Not far away from the Panzu Shi, there's another 100-year-old restaurant. 要一个饭炒煎酱面。
几两
1两。
要不要辣椒？
要辣椒一点点，还有一个老肉蛋。 With the rise of many fly restaurants familiar to Chengdu people, this old street brought a worldly atmosphere to the food culture of the old Chengdu. Who would have thought that the Yulai Tea House, which is now being renovated, and the future Chengdu Sichuan Opera Art Centre would be followed by these diners in those years? But still, I found a folk theatre on this street.
古时候开唱戏的地方呢，它也是这样子坐的，坐的的时候，然后吃零食，嗑瓜子，然后呢再喝一点茶，而且这个舞台上的戏哈，它是中国的传统文化，它是有几千年的这个传统文化融合在戏里面。你要了解它当地的那个文化，你就去看它的戏，当地老百姓过日子的，然后搬上了舞台。一扔就开了，过来，滑下去，往下面滑。做的时候，你看，一抛就起来了。对，唱戏是不能把那个做起来的。所有的这个男生穿衣服都要那样子，穿起来两三步。想当初，地本事，就是地本事。想当初，地本是北面蜀山儿呀问啦。
Why, in Chinese opera, are women's roles traditionally played by men? It's because only a man knows how a woman is supposed to act. Hu Lianhua, who taught himself by tapes, is such a famous Sichuan opera actor who plays women's roles. Normally on the other side of the camera I'm watching the experience and being immersed in it, but today being so close up to Huaxing and understanding the intricate details behind this storytelling is very different. It's quite unique, and how powerful his voice is being so close up, and the story I think I need a lot more practice, a lot more lessons here with Hu Laoshi to understand and be able to perform with him one day.
唱戏的地方就是现在那个塔吊那个地方。
对，塔吊。
对，什么人就是商业的、做生意的、读书的、作家的，都在那儿去看戏。它这一条街上最出名的是什么呢？就是川剧，就叫川剧一条街。它不是说这个地方挨着都唱川剧，它就是一个川剧带动了这一条街。
So this is the historic quarter, which was a bustling place. It was the hub of downtown, adjacent to the Sichuan Opera, adjacent to the fried noodle stores, adjacent to the Pansunjie. But this was part of that area many decades ago. But I believe under the current urban protection, revitalization of the cultural core, this part of the social hub and commercial district will have a new sense of life and a new sense of purpose. Excuse me. I've been told there's some pretty good new Western places here as well.
Fusion.
Yeah, it's like a fusion.
Yeah.
So if you're still here, maybe you can join us for a coffee later. Thanks, Em. Wow, that's great. We're coming up to lunchtime now, and you get some very new brands that have come to this part of this street. The purpose over a year ago was to bring in something Western, something that combined the culture of both places. The new brands that bring in with them the young, the affluent, but also the creative types to this part of the city. It's been making this place more humane, more livable. As you can see, the demographics has changed. We had the old and the seniors earlier on in the day. Now we've got a very youthful crowd. They're coming to start to eat, to dine, to experience both traditional Sichuan chicken soup, and then also we have a very unique Western food restaurant. It's a very strong female orientation here. It's how the Chengdu's development of the city and its gender equality and diversity. So this place represents the future of Chengdu. Let's take a look inside.
Hi Ken.
Yeah.
Welcome to a bookstore, which is called Achi in Chinese. As we can see on this street is one of the oldest streets that has one of the richest histories in Chengdu. We have the Sichuan Opera, we have the first police station in Chengdu, and then they also have these designs of arch, and also we infuse this kind of idea and design into our bookstore. The whole place, the whole bookstore is part of the urban renovation project of this neighborhood. So it's both a spontaneous from the people and also from the government. So it's a collective work.
Okay, so this is quite unique to find this co-creation, actually the dialogue between governance and also between the people who live here, work here. And I think this is kind of a very key feature of how architecture, urban planning can fit within the local context.
On these shelves we have some arts books, but we try to make our selection of books as light as possible, not too academic,
okay.
so that more people can read them.
And you have a very quiet little space out here as well.
People come here and take a nap after lunch and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That's our ideal afternoon. I would say it's a concentrated expression of Chengdu's lifestyle. Just in this backyard. You see the flow of winds, you see the silence of the city, and also you just remove everything and then enjoy your own world. This backyard instantaneously becomes yours. Yes. This is our exhibition hall, and we change the exhibition from time to time. For example, we will have events of inviting local residents, the restaurants owners, the community, like the government. We sit down together and then we just chat about the history, the current shape, the needs of the residents, and how we can collaborate to make this place a better shape. We hope to, not just in the physical way to renew this neighborhood, but also in a more spiritual way, that we connect people, we preserve the tradition and the spirit of this neighborhood.
Yeah, I can fully understand and appreciate that, because each place around Chengdu is quite unique. It has its own personality, and each place has its own soul. I'm quite looking forward to this new exhibition of yours, and we welcome you all to come and be a part of it, really.
Yeah, hopefully it's about everyone. Yeah. It's not just us, it's about you.
Yeah.
Yes, every single of you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, it's been a pleasure. Well, what a day. We've been very fortunate to experience probably 100 years of people's lifestyle in one street. I remember back in Notting Hill, where the artists like today will move into a particular area, renovate and bring in a certain culture. And with the gentrification, we had the increase of organics, boutique stores, cocktail bars, restaurants, and a certain social culture that was brought with this higher income gentrification process. What happened in Notting Hill is that over time these places became very expensive for the everyday person to live, and what I noticed through this street is that even though we've got gentrification under the process, it's still managing to retain the local residents' needs, their values, their eating habits, their social habits are still here. It's part of the context. It's a different type of gentrification, if you understand. I guess Chengdu's own way is finding its own way as part of the protection and cultural preservation. If you really want to find out of what it takes to be part of this new charming city, trust me, come and pay a visit. I hope to see you sometime soon.